bored, huh? Everyone has to do it at some point.
Yeah.
I mean, like I wrote in the book, they're Saturdays.
Yeah.
They're Saturday characters. They're fun. They're ease. They're flip-flops. They're shorts. It's sunny. They're built to be buoyant, to bounce from cloud to cloud.
But you can
There's
do
a great value in
and
that.
you had a skill for it.
Yeah, and it's about the jive, and
Yeah.
it's about it's about the vibe, and you get the right male and female leads in those co-stars that I've been in, and that's it. Look, I mean, the rom-com, it's not about what my vocation is. How to lose a guy. I'm in an advertising agency. Who cares? It's just about the guy and the girl. They're going to get together. They're going to break up somehow. They're going to get mad, and then the boy will chase the girl at the end, and then we're going to roll credits. We're all going to go, hey, but didn't that feel good? Wasn't that fun? That's the same story over and over and over. People just want to sometimes go, I want to escape and not have to.
So you're only working your charm muscle.
No, it's working with the charm muscle because they wouldn't have been. I don't think they would have been as successful if it's only working a charm muscle. Again, one of the things I did in the romantic comedies I tried to do is try to not, a lot of times the male is so emasculated in those, meaning they come back at the end and just like, woe be me, please take me back.
Right.
I am nothing without you.
Right.
And I always tried to give at least some dignity to that and go, look, I screwed up.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I really want you back. And if you forgive me, I think we could really do something great together. But I can't just walk in here and just go, oh, if you don't take me back, I'm a nothing. Because I was always like, I would have these conversations with the directors. I was go like, that guy that you're talking about that comes back and just goes, whatever, just take me back.
Right.
I'm nothing without you. What girl wants that guy?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a load to put on. I'm going like, that girl's walking away going, oh, geez.
Yeah.
Stand up for yourself a little bit. So I was doing those, having a great time doing them. But as I said in the book, I felt like I wanted to challenge myself in a different way. I felt like, okay, this is easy. I got the script today. I can do this tomorrow morning. That was fun and easy. But I was like, I want something that I go, I can't do this tomorrow.
But yeah, but you right. But yeah, I mean, you turned down a lot of money. You had a wife at that point. You had a kid, right? And
and that helped me. I mean, look, I called my money manager when I said I don't want to do rom-coms anymore. I called my money manager. How did I save my money? Because you save your money well. I said, because I'm about to take off from the work that's been coming my way. I called my agent. He says, great. I said, really? I'm bringing in a nice 10% with these rom-coms to your company. You sure it's just great? Jim Toth, a Minch, says, I don't work for them. I work for you. Great. Boom. Then I go to Camilla. Her and I've been talking about it. I'd shed tears over trying to figure out what it was I could do in my career and what I wanted to do. And about making this full stop about, as I said, what I wanted to do was not coming my way. So,
which were meatier parts, more interesting, deeper characters, dramas,
right? So they weren't coming my way. So if I couldn't get what I wanted, I had said my decision was, well, stop doing what it is you don't want to do. Process of elimination. So I said no to the rom-coms. And it took Hollywood quite a while to say, okay, we get the message. And then there was just nothing that came in. Mind you, I had nothing came in.
You were taking a risk and you said no more rom-coms and there was nothing. You weren't getting nothing.
Nada,
so were those nights with your wife where you're like, what the fuck am I going to do, man? What did I do?
Hell yeah, there was. Yeah, there was, man. There were some wobbly nights for sure, man, about going, what have I done? And then my family's going, what are you doing, man? You turned down that money? God damn, buddy, you're going to go, what? Just go nail it, hammer it, get out. I'm like, no. But they understood, but they were like, geez, man, sure you're taking this too seriously. I was like, no, it's what I got to do. And my wife said to me very early on when we agreed to take the sabbatical, she said, all right, if we're going to do this, we're doing it all the way. And we're not going to half-ass it. She repeated my dad's words to me. And so 20 months later, after nothing, is when I think Killer Joe was the first thing that came in. And then those dramas that I wanted started coming my way. And all of a sudden, I was like, whoa.
Killer Joe with Friedkin?
Yeah.
That Tracy Letts play. He's a great guy, Tracy. Yep. And so is Bill. Friedkin's a trip, right?
Yeah, isn't he? I mean, he's over there. What's he doing? Orchestrating some symphony in Czechoslovakia today?
Talk about stories, dude. Oh, my God.
Right?
I talked to him for like 2.5 hours, and it all came together. It was crazy.
Absolutely. Dude, he does, you know what he does? One take. Tells everybody right off the bat, you get one take. He's like, let's shoot. You get one take. That's it. And everyone goes, oh, shit, one take. But what happens when you only have one take is you just don't hold anything back on take one and you just go, fuck it. Let's let it rip. It's actually a great exercise that you can't, as an actor, rely on, oh, well, I'll fix it or I'll do something different. No, you got one. Here you go. It's live. let it down.
So you were able. So that was your kind of re-entry into acting.
It was that.
Movies.
It was Paperboy. It was Magic Mike. It was Mud.
When was Tropic Thunder? Because that's a great one, man.
Tropic Thunder was before that.
Oh.
So I think, the re-entry for me, I think, was Lincoln Lawyer. A
few years,
Killer Joe-ish.
Did you have fun on Tropic Thunder?
Oh, shit, yeah. We shot that in Kauai. That was so much fun. You could tell that was something when we were doing it.
I think it was a genius movie. I think it's a genius fucking satire.
And so fun to watch over and over and over. There's no dead weight in the movie. The whole thing is a romp and a ride and originally funny.
When he's
so good.
When he's having the crisis of identity with the wooden statue and like with the kid made him an Oscar and he's putting that guy's teeth in to do oh my God.
So good.
It's dark, man. So so Killer Joe gets you back in, Mud gets you some recognition.
So what did I do in that 2 years, that 20 months? I didn't rebrand, I unbranded. Meaning I was not on the beach getting shot shirtless.
Yeah.
I was not doing rom-com. So your proverbial seat where you were like, where's McConaughey in the world? It got to a point where nobody knew where I was. It was like this, I don't know where he is.
I think he's in a trailer.
I became a new good idea.
Oh, interesting.
So I was away long enough that I became a new,
hey,
it'd be an interesting idea. Where 2 years before that would not have been an interesting idea.
Yeah.
All right. So these movies start coming my way. Those Magic Mike, Paperboy. I had control of Dallas Buyers Club, but nobody wanted to make it with me. But I started, I made a few movies that were critically successful and made some bank. They were original characters. And all of a sudden, it was somebody who might be able to get Dallas Buyers Club financed. Still, no one wanted to finance a 1980s period AIDS drama.
But what do you mean? You were attached to it for years.
Yeah, I was attached to it.
How did that happen? How did you, what was the problem?
That came to me. I read it, loved it, and said, all right, there's something here. This is an unsentimental way to tell this story. I want this. So I attached myself to it. Now, that means, all right, McConaughey's attached. We can go out to look for directors. There were plenty of times that other people tried to come swipe it from me. And I was like to my agents, do not let that one go. That, I believe, will see its day with me and it's somewhere down the line. Huh. And thankfully it did.
It's interesting how it came together. But what I found, like in reading the book, that, you got to know, what was his name? Woodson? What's the character's name?
Ron Woodruff.
Like that, you got to know his daughter and his mother, his sister, and they gave you his diary.
Gave me the diary. Yeah.
So you were really able to kind of, like, I imagine the depth of that, and you're working with Penny, right?
Yeah, I'm working with Penny.
And you had all that information.
Now I'm seeing the guy from the inside out.
Right.
Now I'm seeing the guy that's not written about in the script. I'm seeing the guy before he got HIV.
Right.
All right. So now I've got this whole story and it's in his words. And I saw this sort of this dreamer, like I said, this guy who, really he'd have these doodles, you could tell when he was getting high or whatever.
Right.
He'd doodle in his diary. And then he'd write things about like, I'm going to go tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. I'm going to install these speakers for the Johnsons over across town. And, I've got the speakers. I got to go get some monster cable. And he did real tiny writing and add it all up to the penny. That means I'll have like $6.42 worth of gas.
Yeah.
That'll get me back. And then he'd get up, on a second cup of coffee, iron in his shirt before he goes to work, and his pager would go off. And it'd be like, oh, I'm sorry, Ron, we don't need that. We're going with somebody else who can insure themselves. Boom. Now what's he do? Well, his ambition for the day was kind of gone. So now he's going to head over to Sonic and see old Nancy Blankenship and maybe go shag up a little bit and get him a double cheeseburger and call it a day. And Friday night's coming early.
Right. So it's just like mundane details of this guy who, becomes this kind of like the arc and the hero of this tale. Like you were able to humanize him to a depth that's not usually available because you had his own words,
Yeah. Well, it also allowed me not to go in and play a guy who has HIV. Look, now, who's the man before he had HIV? I played that guy who actually gets HIV.
Yeah.
he also, you saw how extravagant he would dress up for Halloween and stuff, and he loved jazz, and he liked to go up to the Northeast, and he was kind of a carny performer, And his family told me about things he would invent, but he wouldn't get the patent on. Like he didn't quite follow through. He'd invent, and then all of a sudden they go get the patent. He go like, no, and then 2 years later, someone would get the patent on his idea and steal it from him. And he's like, he never quite followed through on certain things. And there was a certain humanity and loneliness to that of a guy who was kind of drifted. That told me a lot. I had the inside track on him.
Yeah, it was such a great character, great movie, great job. And it's like one of those. It's nice. Like it was one of those years where you win Best Actor, and you're like, hey, he deserved it. You know what I mean?
Oh, cool.
You know
cool.
what I mean?
Yeah.
It wasn't like, how the fuck did that?
Right, right. Yeah, yeah.
And you were pretty lit up that night. You went with your.
Oh yeah, man.
You went with your mom, right?
With my mom and Camilla, my wife.
Yeah.
That was that was real special. And I remember, I was getting pretty numb as the category came up. And the whole room kind of went like, bzzz, and I remember just looking at the names and going, no one else's name starts with an M. So if you hear a m, that means it's you. And I remember laying my head back, and I heard m, and I was like, I'm not sure. And then I would look around me, and my mom stands up, my friend Kevin Moore stands up, Camilla stands up there, start clapping. I'm like, started with a M. Matthew, they called my name.
It's interesting that something that you put that much work into, and that was that personal for you, and that you championed the thing all the way through. Were you a producer on it or no?
No,
but it was.
So.
But your collaboration with the director was kind of tight, right? You guys really.
Yeah, like Jean-Marc Vallée, who's now gone on to direct so many more things, and he had done a film called Crazy, which when I saw that film called Crazy, I don't know if you've ever seen it. Y'all check it out. It's wild. It's fun and really well told. And again, I write the book. I don't know how he got the money to get that soundtrack. That guy gets music, and I don't know how he gets the music for the budgets he has. Anyway, he was the right guy for it.
And what was it like? Because I have to also assume that, given, the fucking vulnerabilities of, I've been watching a lot of old movies in quarantine and really kind of noticing, what really makes a scene or a performance work is the vulnerability,
Let's open up that word, because I've had not the best relationship with that word through my life, or what that means.
Okay,
I'm with you, and I have a more evolved. And I like the word now and understand it.
Well, like an example that I was heading towards. Well, I think that it seems to me that vulnerability to you would somehow be somewhere in the area of weakness.
It used to be,
right?
Yeah,
but I imagine it's primarily because you didn't recognize it, and your definition was tied.
I think you're right. I think that's correct.
Yeah. Like for me, the ability for you to engage in the character that was being humiliated by this disease, and also find strength with it, and also have to reckon with the judgment reserved for people that he wasn't, that he could not get away from, and then develop a relationship with Jared Leto's character. Yep. That you surrendered to. That's as vulnerable as you can get on screen, really.
Yeah, maybe.
It's just human. It's just...
it's superhuman. What was always in my pocket was, as Ron Woodruff as an actor was, it's got to do whatever it takes to stay alive. That's like the ultimate, talk about the ultimate obstacle to overcome. That's like the baseline. What's your job? I'm trying to stay alive. And you know what? The other thing I'm going to blame, I'm not, when I said earlier, the unsentimentality of that film dealing with that subject matter, Ron was a businessman. He was trying to make money. Right. So that sort of undercut, he was never the guy who waved the white flag for the cause.
No, I get that. But when his humanity got so stripped down,
yep,
he couldn't help but feel empathetically with the humanity of somebody else.
100%.
So that's a vulnerability that's earned despite the character's intentions.
Right. Yep.
Huh. Yeah, I mean, I think the word to me means that, you know, whether you mean to or not in the character, or whether the character means to or not, where, you know, the human heart is exposed, you know, so everybody can feel it, right?
Yes. Yeah. Yes. And that, I mean, look,